Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a chair that is ready to go wherever you are, permanent Christmas lights that you control with your phone, and beautiful models that you build, plus they move. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast where we go out, find projects, and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am one half of the show, Ktdata, and joining me is a man who likes to experiment and live on the wild side and try new things, such like creamy Dr. Pepper, the one and only Drew Tyler.
I made my own creamy Dr. Pepper. I've learned a few things, but it's ugly, but it's delicious.
Can I ask what in the world is creamy Dr. Pepper? Because I have no idea what that is.
So a little bit of crushed ice in the bottom. Is it Fizz and So Delicious? These places have inspired me to try, a little bit more brave. So I poured in a little bit of vanilla flavoring in the bottom, and I put in the half and half on top of that, but I should have done Dr. Pepper first because apparently half and half and Dr. Pepper together makes the fizz bubbles stay alive. Like they don't dissipate. So if you pour
that kind of makes sense because you know how you do root beer? It's the same thing. So
exactly. So I'm going to burp through the whole show now.
Now we know, and coming in about a year is going to be Drew Tyler's soda cookbook coming to a Kickstarter near you.
I like this idea. You don't need fizz and soda. Let's just make your own. I'll give you all the answers.
Yeah, maybe we could even turn it into a show and like hope SodaStream or somebody sponsors us. We can make it happen.
This idea.
We can make it happen. I have a problem where I just think of show ideas in the middle of recording another show. What is wrong? So if it is your first time, first of all, welcome to the show. And no, I usually don't think of shows in the middle of the show. Welcome to the show. We hope you guys enjoy. And before we go into our projects tonight, we got some news on there. And one of the things that we like to do is help project creators. Drew, you yourself have run a few projects on there. We do get questions from project creators all the time. So we always like to give you a little bit of extra. So our first bit of news of the night is that Kickstarter also realizes that people are running into the same issues when they're doing things and finding different resources like fulfillment and stuff, right? So what they have introduced is they have created a creators resources page. So it lists resources where you can go that, it lists things from just, getting stamps to manufacturing things to even like tax advice. On there, there's a link to the U.S. Patent Office, which is always an amazing read. Yes, the U.S. Patent Office website. I know by experience it is an amazing read on there. So they're building that and putting that together. So if you're ever have questions about fulfillment and stuff, just head on over there. I mean, there's places that will tell you how to go print your album on vinyl if you promise that to someone.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they're also making this other section too called Campus, and it's kind of like a forum for creators where they can drop in, ask questions and stuff, and other people can respond and reply and just have discussions about it. Unfortunately, at the time of us recording the show, if you click on the Campus link, they're like, "You've reached Campus almost." So Campus is not quite done yet, but they'll be putting that together pretty soon.
That would be an interesting. So it's almost like an open forum where you can subscribe to certain rules or certain topics.
Yeah,
I think so. Somebody will say, "What do you think of this?" And then you can subscribe and hear everybody sound off on that idea. This is great.
Yeah, and I was looking through like some of these, and like some of these names look very familiar. I mean, I think didn't we interview the Amplifier guys at CES?
Mm-hmm. We did that at one of the CES.
Yeah, so they're there. I mean, packaging, like things you don't even think about how to do packaging and stuff. They even like give you tips because I don't think a lot of people know is you can get free shipping supplies from the United States Postal Service as long as you ship using them on there, and you can order straight from the website. They'll deliver it to your house. You don't even have to go to the post office to pick it up on there. They'll come pick stuff up. So it has like tips and tricks like that. So if you're running a project and you're like, well, how in the world I'm going to do this? I would go and check some of these projects. And I think, some of these I may have to feature later on because like I haven't heard of some of these. So you never know. Might be good information. But do you think it's good for Kickstarter to kind of encourage this? Because fulfillment has always been that That's what you hear from everybody. You're like, wow, we didn't expect fulfillment to be this kind of big issue.
Right. And I've even had a few students recently say, yeah, for my independent project for a class, I'm going to run this Kickstarter for somebody. And I actually like pull them in my office. It's happened twice. I'll close the door and I'll be like, sit down. You need to know a few things first. Like,
It's a
some of them
full-time
don't even
job.
realize that we have this show. But I was like, yes, there's a lot of things you have to do. So having a resource page like this totally makes sense, where they can find those answers to like things they haven't thought of. And it looks similarly like laid out to the way that you and I would beat them over the head with certain things that they already need to know or look into.
Yeah.
Don't have physical rewards unless you can handle this. So I love this. I think that and the campus being able to ping other people or follow discussions about things. I think you learn a whole lot.
Yeah,
I love these ideas.
Yeah, I love it. And then so on to for our second news item that we have today, kind of goes along with it. So most of you have probably heard of SEO, search engine optimization, how to get your page ranked really well on Google and other search
Kind of a
engines.
big deal.
It's kind of a big deal. So what I wanted to do is for this one, we're doing CFO, crowdfunding optimization.
Yeah.
On there. So Indiegogo actually put together this really great article, and it goes into detail. Like I was surprised when I read through it, is how to optimize your campaign for success. On there. So, and then it was a guest blog that they did from the person who actually helped with the one piano. So they're obviously going to have suggestions from that on there. And there is some stuff that, I didn't even think about. For one thing is optimizing your content. So you're like, what does that mean? That means finding what's going to hit people's attention and get them to back you in the most effective and the quickest way before they get bored on there. And this first one, I didn't even know existed. So they say to figure out what your core taglines are use Google consumer surveys to vet them. So it does cost a little money. It's 10 cents per response, but you can target specific demographics and stuff. And so you're like, why are you asking Google this? Google knows pretty much everything about you. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yes.
And they know how to target you and get all the information from you. So what's great about this is you can see they tested different taglines to see what was more popular. So they had things like the world's first Apple MiFi certified piano, the smartest way to play the piano, or a piano that can teach you to play. That one was the most popular one. So obviously they're like, okay, let's use that in our marketing materials. I mean,
wow, I didn't know you could do that. So the Google consumer survey is almost like, you survey 100 people for $10 and you get these answers. Wow, this is a brilliant thing.
It helped because you and I both know in the creative process, like, well, we have these two names or two things that we want to use. Which one do we do? This is a great way to do that testing and see which one would actually hit first. And then this next one is always great. A visitor's first impression of your page determines whether she or he continues to scroll down and learn more about your product. So make sure your thumbnail above the fold, so that means before you scroll, if you guys don't know the terms, before you scroll is a compelling image. It kind of goes back to us always saying, make sure you have a good video, because if you don't have a good video, you're going to lose your audience. Make sure that splash screen that's on there is great. And then they go into some like crazy things that I didn't even think of. There's the normal one, add a call to action on there, but the number two one that I didn't think of, and it makes total sense though, is use a color that can stand out and look sleek relative to other Facebook posts. So they brought out think about it, if you're browsing Facebook and all of a sudden you see this ad, you tend to ignore it unless it has some, catching visual or something.
It's got to jump.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And if you look at what they posted, it is a picture of their piano, but look at the background. It has a nice gradient on it. It's a nice bright purple that catches your eye on there, and that's what draws you forward. I mean, the piano itself, it's a piano, right? So that actually draws you in, and it says like a 42% limited time discount. It makes you feel a little more exclusive.
Flash sale, finals. Yeah. There's some good things going on there.
So there's tons of like good information here. So you want to check. I mean, some of them is like basic website things. Make sure your page loads fast. Figure out a way to increase on-site conversions. This is another great one, is interlude hyperlinks in your project that can take them directly to the pledge page from there. So that way they don't have to scroll back up or anything. They can just click and they're already pledging right there. So that way it kind of creates this instant gratification where they're like, oh, I don't want to scroll all the way up or something. I'll do it later. They're like, oh, I can just click this link. Bam. There's my your money right there. So,
Easy.
like I said, make sure you check this out. There is tons of information. This is a pretty long article on there, but it has great information. Some of the stuff you've heard us harp on and on and on, but some of the stuff is pretty new and great ideas. And I was like, wow, I gotta share the world about that. This is what I love about Indiegogo.
That is our job. That is our job. Yep.
I mean, that's what Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I love how they're always trying to promote and give ideas to project creators other than just creating the platform. All right. So it's been kind of heavy with campaign information. I wonder if I know anybody who may be launching a crowdfunding project, like let's say tomorrow.
Yes. In fact, I know somebody that might be doing this very thing. I think last week I even mentioned it last show that we were going to be launching the Comic-Con movie that I assisted in producing. At least this first part of it, we made a trailer. This is the one that we shot all through Comic-Con. I've talked about it quite a bit on the show, but they I didn't even know they were doing this, but they actually ran and built an Indiegogo and ran with it. It's out there. It's ready to go. We'll highlight it in one of our shows in the future because we can do that. But I just wanted to put it out there that if you go to the comicconmovie.com, you can see our trailer, which has just barely been released today, and enjoy all of the fun shots that we worked late nights to get. KT came in one of the nights to PA with us. You ran. You were just all over the place.
I was
camera assist and everything.
It's like wherever you need me, I'll go. I mean, I ended up being somewhere in the movie. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut or not, but I was there because they're like, hey, everybody else is gone. KT, you want to jump in? I'm like, okay.
Be this guy. But we had a great time. We shot so much footage over that weekend, and then we slammed it down into this 2.5-minute trailer. It's got some really good energy and fun to it. Sets up the show. So jump over to comicconmovie.com.
That's an actual Action Comics #1, which is, I was like,
maybe.
I was like, ooh, fancy.
Yep. So I'll talk more about the campaign and what we're trying to raise and how we're doing in one of the future shows. Maybe even get Tyler on here to talk about being a producer and doing an interview with him, because they've got a bold goal, but they bootstrapped the first 20,000, and now they're trying to finish the rest of it by aiming for the moon. So we'll bring that up later.
Yep. So just make sure you guys head on over to the comicconmovie.com. Find some information and more details later. So for our first project of the night, Drew, I know you as a professor, you go around different classrooms, so you don't really have like a dedicated classroom, right? Well, other than your studio, but even then, things tend to be dynamic, and you're always moving around, right?
Yep.
So have you ever had those days where you're like, man, I'm really tired, but you can't find a chair for the life of you, or you're like, I only can sit down for like 2 seconds or something, right?
No, I don't know.
No?
I have chairs everywhere. I plan my life around chairs, and if I don't, I honestly will squat on the floor. I will just pop down on the floor.
So I have a solution where you don't have to squat down on the floor, and you never have to try to find a chair because the chair will be strapped onto you. So our first project of the night is the wearable chair. Like, I kid you not.
Is this a serious thing? Are you sure that we're not starting at the bottom of the show with the sack? This is a real one.
This is a real one. And the only reason why I know it's real is because it's out of Asia, and anything is possible in the land of Asia.
Yes, it is. Wearable chair. Oh, my goodness.
So how it works is it's a system where you strap it to your legs. So you strap some to your lower back and to your legs. And then when you sit down, these legs kind of pop up from under your from behind your feet, and then you can just sit down. There's the cushion, the seat and everything is already strapped to you, and it's kind of an exoskeleton on there, and you can just squat wherever you are. So you don't need to carry around a chair or worry about a stool or anything. You're just good to go from there. It's pretty. Wait, what? Yeah, and it sets you at like a 120-degree angle, which is the most ergonomic and optimal way for you to sit down and have your back stay straight and your legs kind of at a squatting position. But you can see he just strapped it on, and you just pop a squat right there, and you're good to go. You see? And the chairs.
That's his chair. Strapped to his backside.
Yeah. And it's really portable because you can fold it up and put it in a bag and carry it with you if you don't want it strapped on there, and look at
But
that.
you could walk around with it possibly, maybe.
Yeah, you can walk around. It's designed for you to kind of stay mobile and everything. It's for people who are on their feet all day and they want to just kind of, if you want to sit a little bit, you don't have to worry about it. And it's for like those factory workers who you obviously can't have a chair sometimes, but sometimes when you need a break, you can just go, I'm good.
Wow, I don't even know what to say. Wow, tell me more because I'm not sold.
So you can it hugs your body. You have to like size the chair. that's what's crazy about it is depending on like your measurements, you got to size how you're gonna sit down, and you can get this for a low price of $550. Does this not seem like something that is something you'd use?
That's not a cheap one. I don't know. I think for $550, I think I would squat on the floor.
I mean, look at this. Look at this. There's a butt support. Your knee, has a knee support and rubber feet on there, and it just velcros on, and you use clips for your knees. And look, it's pad. You can pad the seat, so No.
Wow. Wow.
You're saying that I can't. There's not going to be a day where I'll see you strapped to one of these, and
you will never see me strapped to a wearable chair. I mean, I love the idea, right? So I'm all about this fun idea, but I don't think I will ever strap into a wearable chair. Well, I honestly think I would rather just sit on the ground.
Well, just imagine this: you're in your studio, and your students are all ready for a shot and stuff, and you're like, "All right, go!" You can just out of the way. Everybody just sit there and watch them do their work. And like, yeah, go.
So this is probably. This is funny because this is Asian too, but when I lived in the Philippines, I got very accustomed to squatting, where you just drop your butt down and leave your knees up in the air, and I will squat like that for hours and just be totally comfortable, where I could just pop down and put my elbows on my knees, and I could do that for hours. So I don't need a chair to go with me. This is hilarious. I find it very entertaining. I find it interesting, but if I'm going to strap an exoskeleton to my lower extremities, I want it to have some oomph to it, right? I want to have some like hydraulic lifts or something. I want to have
you want it to make you like power, almost bionic, a power suit.
Yes,
you can like jump higher.
$500,000. That is what I want. I want some sort of hydraulic bouncy seat or something, so if I do sit on my wearable chair, I can sit in it, but it could also like double as like stilts or something. Like hydraulic legs come out the bottom. Like I don't know. This needs. Whew, it's almost too easy.
So I'm guessing this is not a back.
Actually, and we haven't had this for a long time, but yet this is a sack for me. An actual project sack.
Oh. This is what's genius about it too, because he actually puts a section on here that says
there's genius. There is genius.
He puts down why Indiegogo. And he put down crowdfunding was the option I chose for initial market testing. So, and look, they've received funds from the federal government, and they just need more for production and marketing in order to proceed.
Our federal government or theirs?
Their federal government, as in Korea's federal government, South Korea's.
I
better put that in before people are like.
South Korea is backing this chair idea.
I think
but they get it any cheaper. There's got to be a way to get this cheaper. Don't you think?
I don't know. On there, like for me, it's a track, because the only thing I'm a little worried about is those are kind of small legs, so I don't know how much versatility or like range of motion you can have while you're sitting down. Because I could see this happening where I'd be wearing it and be like, "Oh, let me grab that," and next thing you know, I'm face forward on the ground.
It's a sit only, no movement allowed, sitting only. The video was hilarious, though. I will tell you, the video was hilarious because it was all green screened,
and the backgrounds were not scaled properly.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. Like that. That's probably why when I first started watching this, and it is good for elderly too. I was like, oh snap! So I checked out pretty quick. So sadly, this is my first sack for a long time.
Sad. That is sad on there. All right. So let's come back across the Pacific Ocean, back to the United States, and even closer than that. right into good old Salt Lake City. Our next project is actually a Utah project. And when I saw this, I'm like, I totally get why somebody in Utah created this. So, Drew, how about you introduce everybody to our next project?
Bring it on home. The next project is called Everlights. It's app-enabled permanent Christmas lights. The season is upon us. I'm dreading going out in the cold and hanging up Christmas lights. Sometimes I don't.
I just
do
don't
it.
hang
Okay,
Christmas
I never
lights.
do it. Yeah, like exactly. I don't do it. I saw the greatest little decoration the other day. It was a picture on Facebook, but somebody had done lights across like the lower awning of half of their house, like seriously, like 10 feet of lights, and then they had fallen off, and they had a cutout of the Grinch stuffing the lights into a sack, and that was like their whole display was like the Grinch taking off their lights. I was like, that's it. So that's how I feel. So when I came across this app on our list, or this campaign on our list, Everlights, I started looking at it. It's like, okay, so there's tons of companies out there that actually you pay them $200 and they will come and put beautiful lights, like perfectly spaced, excellent lights. And I live in the crappiest house in my neighborhood, but everybody around me has these really nice lights, and so I feel like I have to, at least show up to the game. So you can hire people to come out and do these great lights, and they'll store them in bins and keep them for you year round. So I started looking at Everlights, and what got me, it was like app enabled. I was like, okay, so we've seen lots of lights that are app enabled now. It's LifeX and Hue, like there's all kinds. So it made sense that eventually they'd get to Christmas lights. In fact, this isn't surprising to me. But here's what I loved about this whole project. If you look at it, they have this method of installation where you drill them into the flashing of your rain gutters. And so even during the day or during the off season, right? So Easter or middle of the summer, your lights are not hanging on your house. There's no wires hanging all over your house. They're just on when you want them on and off when you want them off. Like right there, you can see in the picture if you're watching the video with us that you can't even see. Even when they zoom in, you can barely see a couple of
They look
spots
like
from the flashing
nails for your gutters, to hold them up.
Yeah. And so the way that they've designed this is actually quite amazing, that all the wires are hiding inside of your gutter, or if you don't have a flashing or a gutter, you can add something there. But then you drill holes and pop the lights through from the backside. And these are totally waterproof lights. They have their own little like O-rings that you can, once you punch them in, even if your gutter were to fill up over the top and be flowing with water over the top, these would still operate just fine. There'd be no problems. In fact, they have that GIF right there where they're like running oodles of water down the middle of this rain gutter, and the lights are just, the lights are not leaking, and they're just lit up. So to me, I was like, started to get into this right about that point. I was like, wait a minute. So you don't have to have wires hanging out all through, like the year. You just turn the app on and you can change the colors. They gave us these great examples of like not just Christmas, but all the lights are programmable. The whole series is programmable with different colors and different patterns. But then they had shots of like somebody like rooting for the Lakers, and so they had, what is it, purple and gold? I don't even know, purple and gold. I don't know, but they changed their colors to match the team colors, and so they were supporting. Yeah, is that it? So they were supporting the team. Or for Halloween, they did little orange lights, and 4th of July, red, white, and blue lights. And I thought that is so versatile. So for me, Everlights were an amazing answer to this pain that I have of hanging lights. I love the idea. Let's see, they're aiming for 20,000. They've still got 40 days to go, and they're already at 16,000. Strangely enough, with only 28 backers. This is odd to me. I would think $16,000 coming from 28 people. There's somebody's got a giant horse in the game here. Like,
well, somebody already backed for $6,000, right? Yeah.
That was a 10-home contractor kit, which you could start a business off of this, honestly. Like, I'm going to go put this out there. The kit itself, like if you wanted one for yourself, early bird is about $300, which is what I would pay for a year to have somebody come out, install, and then deinstall and move away. It wouldn't be app controlled. It wouldn't even like change colors. So for me, $300 to get 50 foot of lights on my house, it's a pretty good start. So this is a back for me. Everlights is a brilliant idea, and I love the install method especially. What do you think?
I love it. And what's even great about this is if you're like me and I'm like, well, I don't trust myself to be drilling holes into my gutter because
It's a brave move, I know.
yeah, that's I mean, there could be other potential problems with me drilling holes into things on there. They'll actually find local installers that you can get to install at home, which I think is great. I love the low profile on it, and I love that they're
Beautiful.
a Utah project, because I mean this is something that people in Utah, I don't know about other states, but we like our lights.
We do like our lights.
And
We do like
people
our
go
lights.
crazy with them.
That's true. The other thing I didn't mention is they've actually, so the lights work, and right now they have like a kind of off the shelf Wi-Fi system, because the whole thing sends out its own Wi-Fi signal, and that's how you kind of get in and control the whole thing. So it's already there and working with somebody else's Wi-Fi control box. This funding that they're trying to raise all this 20,000 for is so that they can basically build their own. They've hit some limitations with the box they're using. And so this is why it's brilliant, because like they've already got the good part all working. They're looking to perfect it and make it their own. And so to do that, the money is going to kind of redevelop a complete new redesign of their own Wi-Fi box to make this go. And it's really cute. It's cute. You can put it in your garage where most of your like central units go for your sprinklers and other things. And it has its own little LED set around the box that lights up to show what pattern is on the lights outside at the front of the house.
Oh,
So you can catch the pattern.
I didn't know that was a pattern for the outside.
So if you have if you have blue lights outside, then you'll see that right behind your your main box that you look at in the garage. So you look at it and go, that's what the outside of my house looks like. I do have one beef about this whole project. Do you want to hear it?
It's expensive.
It's still in the right range. No, my beef is it is the logo. I really, really dislike the logo. It's supposed to be a Christmas light, but it's like a really tall, skinny E and a really tall, skinny L that make up a Christmas bulb or a light bulb. And I don't know. I saw that and I just went, ew. Everything else is so sexy about it that I saw that and I was like, did you? And maybe it was their 12-year-old that put this together for them, but logo-wise, that's all. I saw the logo and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
That's hilarious. Out of everything you hate is just a logo, which you barely see in any of these marketing materials that they have.
Right. For good reason. I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about the middle, like they have the word Everlights, and the Ever is bold, and the Lights is not bold, and the light bulb has these like rainbow-colored like spikes coming off of it, which very much says what it is, but it's that tall E and L that I'm just like, you don't know. But I'm not a logo guy. That was just the only thing that I just went head scratcher. I'll still back it.
That is hilarious on there. For me, it's back. It solves a problem that I know I definitely have on there. And like, I wonder if they'll ever like open up the API so you can hook it up to like a Arduino or something.
Dancing. So yes.
Yeah, and like because I mean, people here, they'll play like music and stuff and have their lights go to it. I wonder if you could program it to follow the same thing, while you're bumping.
I think this is a good idea. So you saw that I did some projection mapping on my garage for
with
Halloween.
The pumpkins and stuff.
I've been wanting to do that for Christmas. Yeah, I want to do the same thing for Christmas, but I want to do like a more permanent install. So like somewhere out underneath a snowbank is my projector, and the whole house bounces to so I don't have to hang up lights. I'm going to projection map lights on my house if I find some time.
Yeah, you could projection map the show on there, so like people can walk
by and be
watch like a giant. Your head too, giant, because I'm assuming your neighbors know who you are, and they'll like stop and watch an entire show just in front of your yard.
Big speakers outside.
Why not? I think that works, right?
I can make this happen.
So that is our Everlights on there, and then what's great about this show is we had so many good projects on there that actually these last two projects were voted by you guys. As projects to feature. So our last one is really cool. So when you were growing up, Drew, did you ever kind of build models or anything?
I did lots of those little plastic models, and I enjoyed them thoroughly, and I got better as the years went on. But that was a fun like whole day
Yeah.
project for me building the plastic
Yeah.
models, breaking off the parts.
Yeah, I mean, if you have ever followed anything I've done, you've seen that I've used to live stream building Gundam models all the time. Just
Yes,
chilling and doing.
yes,
And
yes. I remember
those,
this.
I mean, those are great. I actually have like three to four of them I still need to build that are just sitting there that I just got to find time to stream and put them together on there. So our last project of the night is called U Gears. And what they are self-moving mechanical wood models. These things are amazing because you're like, wood models. Wait, is it going to be just like that your little kid's a block with like wheels on it? No, no, no. So if you guys,
That's what I first thought when I first saw U Gears. I thought
Yeah.
about those dinosaurs where they'd put all the little pieces together, and you'd be like, "Hey, I built a dinosaur out
Yeah.
of flat pieces." No, no, no,
So
no.
these are like detailed, elegant models that you put together. If you're listening to this, make sure you head on over to kickcast.net when you get to a computer and not driving, and check out these models because these look amazing. Like they have like a locomotive train on there that runs. Might I add, you wind it up and it actually runs along the track. It's not just a sitting model; like it actually moves, and
Yeah.
and like the locomotive hooks onto the train car on there and has little gears that you can snap on and pull it too. I mean, this is great. They have like clocks. They have the tractor that can move across your desk and stuff. And the way you get it is they come as flat pack, just pieces of wood on there that you pop out the pieces and then put them together. On there you can create these like amazing looking and very detailed, might I add, on there. I mean, because they like even on the train, they put the little step ladder that you would have to like pop out when you're getting on and off the train. On there, like
So good
yeah,
looking.
I love all the details that they put together, and like it's amazing. Like it's laser. These are all laser cut pieces, so you're not ever gonna get like a piece that's not gonna fit because they're cut to exact specifications. And I just love the fact that you build it and then it runs on its own. Like there's a clock. It's a 20-minute timer. How cool is
Yes,
that?
I love that one.
How cool is that? On there, and I just love this. I mean, I like it does not take you back to a kid, and not only is it just a model that you can put together, like these things move and they come alive. It's not just something that you just put under glass and say, hey, yeah, I built that. But you're more like, hey, check this out, and you can wind it up and go push it up and down the track. It's like I don't know.
Instead of that timer, like I was watching the timer. It's just this elegant, very much just looks like this. I don't just has this classy look to it, but it's just really flat pieces that you get to put together, and then you can twist it and it's self perpetuating. It's amazing. And I just saw one. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. They have one on their site. I don't think it's in that particular project, but they have a really easy box that you can put your business cards in.
Oh yeah.
And when you tap a little button on the side, it just lifts up and loads up the box and is like pops open the lid and presents a card. So I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, I want one of these for my office.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's kind of it's crazy, and like I like the prices that they're offering. I'm like, what? Seriously?
Yeah.
Like I
Right,
I
right.
couldn't imagine like some of these prices because like let's see, the cheapest one that you can get is the tractor, which I think moves by itself also, and it's $13
Mm-hmm.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
The timer that you're looking at is only $20. I'm like, whoa! Like it doesn't seem like it costs more than that. This one's definitely a back, and oh look, they just reached their goal as the time we were recording because when I checked earlier, they were not
They
at their
did.
goal. They were at like
They
17,000.
just barely popped over, didn't they?
Yeah, so
Yep.
congrats, you gears, you guys just have reached your goal during the show because
We were here for it.
yeah, they like yeah, when I checked earlier, they were only at 17,000. Now they're at 20,000. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
I think I might have to back this because it's way cool and it looks classy. You could have
Yes,
it
it
there,
does.
and then imagine you just put that on your fireplace or your mantle. You don't have a fireplace; you just have a mantle, right?
I do. I have a fake mantle. Yeah, that's where it would go.
Just stick it on your mantle, and when friends are over and like, "Hey, what's with the train?" It's like, "I built that." Like, "Oh, that's cool."
I
And it's
built
like-
it. I'll
and-
put it in my office. I'd
Yeah.
put this right in my office.
and then you'd be like, "Hey, and check
Then
this
I tell
out." You just
students.
have it run down the track, and like, yeah. So I'm guessing this is
These
a
are
back for
so
you.
pretty. Yeah, it's absolutely back for me. This is a brilliant execution of like a classic model building. they've just put some real elegance into it, and the fact that they move, it's just impressive. I really love this.
Yeah. So that's all our projects. And finally, the last project of the night
Oh yeah,
is our
yeah.
sack of the week.
Love this.
So when this popped up, and I'm actually still not sure what this is, it is called Logo Means Non-Smoking. So
What?
there's a picture of a water bottle, an aluminum water bottle on there. They want $15,000 on there, and their subtitle is promoting community through influence using things shared when traveling. Mug is 3.7 Z's, or is that an O?
Ounces. Oh yeah, I think it's supposed to be ounces.
That's
Logo
not.
means non-smoking will be on the front.
Yeah. And I don't know. You looked through it. Did you know what
I
this?
did. Here's what I got out of it was this idea that somebody made this a business name. Logo means non-smoking. I don't even know what that means, but they made it a business name, and then the government came out with a cessation advertisement to discourage people from smoking, which is something that, yes, that happened. And then they started watching this and deciding that they still had a method that they needed to still encourage people to stop smoking, and so they were going to build a community by having everybody center around this logo means non-smoking thing that they'll put on traveling items like this water bottle. The funny thing is, like, the logo doesn't. I don't know where the logo is. I don't know what the design is. And the last half, this got me because I kept reading. I was like, what am I reading? The last half of their little project explanation is a news story about an exploding e-cigarette, almost like a safety warning. Like, if you don't use them properly, e-cigarettes can blow up in your face. And it's okay. So you're so water bottles are gonna stop this?
Yeah.
There's nothing here. I guess that's what the sack of the week comes from, the fact that, wow, this may be a great idea to like get on a plane and you see somebody with the same logo that you have and you go, hey, me, no smoking. Yeah. But at the same time,
But I still don't know what the idea is.
Right. It's not
very,
here. We haven't
it's
seen
very
it.
confusing. And I don't think this person really understands how Kickstarter works, because under risks and challenges, I expect delays in shipments due to the holidays ahead from November through February. Place your orders early. But this his project delivery date is February, so the holidays wouldn't matter because
It'll be done and gone.
yeah, this ends on Christmas Eve.
They're trying to raise $15,000 basically to imprint some sort of logo on things.
And I think
think-
the other thing that gets me is he's doing $12 or more. You're gonna get a travel bottle with logo, and the design name logos means nothing. That's not gonna cover the price. Like,
That's true. That's true. A silk screen or a screen printed logo or bottle.
yeah, if anything, it's gonna cover the bottle. But I thought you were like trying to use this money for a cause or something, right?
No cause. Just trying to have everybody on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah. So
There's a community here.
I don't know. I mean, this is why it's a sack of the week. I mean, even after discussing it, I kind of know what they're trying to do. But I mean, that took us 10 minutes of trying to figure it out. And remember, early in our show, optimize your content. This is definitely not optimized content.
This is a hard one.
And
that is quite a sack.
Yep. And that is now the final and last project of the day. So if you have ideas for sacks of the weeks or regular projects or news items, send them our way. KickCast at ktdata.net, or leave them on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ktdata, or facebook.com/kickcast. I have way too many Facebook pages on there. Or you can send us a tweet on Twitter at Night20 for that beautiful man over there, and he's a movie star. I actually never asked. Do you show up in the Comic Con anywhere?
I don't believe. I was running camera for a lot of it, or lights. So no, I don't think I'm in it anywhere yet. I will be, of course, when we finish. But for now, I'm producing
on there. So Night20 for him, at KTData for myself, or at KickCast for the show. If you saw any of these things and you're like, wait, I want to go see those U-Gears, head on over to kickcast.net, look under the show notes, and you'll have links to all of those right there. And of course, we love it when you guys watch live. Our next episode is December 8th. Holy crap. It's almost the end of the year already.
And that sounds scary. That sounds scary.
Yeah, we're almost headed to CES. I probably should get details set for that.
Yeah, that's not far away.
On there. And of course, guys, thank you so much. Drew, you got anything else to plug before we go?
Nope, just watch next show. I'm pretty sure next show or two we'll have campaign updates for the Comic-Con movie and ask for all kinds of support that way.
Yep. All right, guys. So we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.